President, I will ask the Joint Chiefs, the Secretary of Defense, my security advisors to draw up a plan so I can start bringing troops home within 60 days. I think it's important that we understand this has to be planned carefully. You know, anybody who says we'll just wake up the first morning and order them home doesn't really appreciate how dangerous it is to withdraw troops and equipment. And I know we've got a lot of veterans here. This is a great military city, one of the real leaders in our country and the world. Because here are some of the things that I would have to think about as your president. We have to take all these men and women and all this equipment out the same roads we came in, the roads that have been the subject of so many attacks. We have to guard them on the way out, make sure that they get out safely. We have to worry about our more than 100,000 civilians who work at the embassy, businesses, and charities. What will we do with them? I also think we've got to ask ourselves, what about the Iraqis who sided with us? You know, I went into Fallujah in 2005 with John McCain. And we went in and spent a lot of time talking to the Marines who had been in the forefront of the battle to take Fallujah back. And one after another, young captains and lieutenants and sergeants who'd been at the point of the spear said, well, what about my translator? You know, if it hadn't been for him, my men and I would not have made it. And now, because people know he's a translator for the Marines, he's targeted, and so is his family. America is an honorable country, so we will also take care of those who stood with our young men and women and protected them and did what they could on behalf of Americans. Now, as we do this, we've got to tell the Iraqis that their time is up. They no longer have a blank check. They've got to start making the tough decisions that only they can make. And I will engage immediately in diplomatic efforts with all the other countries around in the region. And you know, as we bring our troops home, as we bring them home, we must take care of them. I believe whenever a young man or woman signs up to serve America, America signs up to serve that young man or woman. And we're not doing enough now. We are not providing the health care and the compensation that our young sons and daughters have earned. And I bet every one of you know somebody who has been in Iraq or in Afghanistan. These young veterans deserve a president and a commander-in-chief who will respect their service and give them what they have earned. I intend to be that president. I want a 21st century GI Bill of Rights for our youngest veterans. I want to take care of our oldest veterans from World War II, and I want to pay special attention to the veterans of my generation who served and fought in Vietnam, who did not get the help and services they deserve. Now, you know, there's a lot to be done because on January 20th, 2009, the next President of the United States will be sworn in on the steps of the Capitol, and then we'll walk into the Oval Office to face all of the problems we know about and so many more we can't even predict. And people say to me, well, how will we show that America is different? How can we work together? Well, I think the best way to do that is to set these goals. And part of the reason why I am so specific in my speeches is because I want you to hold me accountable. You know, when the cameras are turned off, when all the speeches are done, I want you to remember I said I would do this on the economy and that on healthcare and that on immigration and that on education, because we need to reestablish a relationship of trust and accountability between the American people and the United States government, and particularly our president.